late rant where I rant about whatever my $15 a month plus patrons want me to rant about. You can get one of these by being one of those. This one's for 41st Millennium Schizoid Man, who says to rant about Blind Guardian. Blind Guardian's a pretty cool power metal band. They only have really one album that I think is particularly exceptional, but they do have a lot of great songs throughout their catalog. The early Blind Guardian albums have the problem of the production being absolute dog shit. Not just in the sense of like bad mixing, bad guitar tones, just overall like the songwriting is there, but it just sounds terrible. Like I think of a song like Valhalla, which if you watch like the version from the live DVD that they have, is fucking awesome. Like it's an amazing song. The crowd is so fucking into the chorus that they won't stop singing it after the song is over. It should be like one of the dankest Blind Guardian songs, but like if you actually listen to the original album version, it just sounds so bad. I'm sure that doesn't bother everybody, but it bothers me. But like then there's like albums like Nightfall on Middle Earth, which has the song Mirror Mirror, which is one of the best songs by them. But like overall, I find the album dodgy. I'm not as into their like theatrics, their folksier stuff. Like I prefer A Night at the Opera, which is the album where they tried to create a sound, as they described it, as an army of musicians. So basically everything is just multi-tracked to ridiculous extremes, and like the sound is muddy as fuck, don't get me wrong, but that is part of the appeal on this album, is that it's so ridiculously overdone. It is the most immense, ridiculous sound for the most immense, ridiculous songs. And that album has fucking Battlefield, Precious Jerusalem, Under the Ice, fucking, what's track 4 called? The first, Sadly Sings Destiny. The first 4 songs are all fucking amazing on that album. The midsection is a little hit or miss, but then you get to And Then There Was Silence, which is a 14.5-minute epic fucking track retelling the story of the Iliad. It doesn't get any grander than that song. Like, if there's one song ever created that I would describe as epic, that's the one. No, not the 24 Minutes of Impossible Soul by Sufjan Stevens, because as big and immense as that song is, it just doesn't have the breadth that And Then There Was Silence has. The constant changing of different parts, the epic storytelling, the fucking moments when it gets back into that huge sweeping chorus and you're just like, you've gone through so much to get there, I used to just sing that song to myself all the time as a way to pass time. I even typed it out once on a graphing calculator at school as a way to pass through math class without doing any work. I absolutely love that song. And I just love the immenseness of their sound on that album. The ones that they've done since then, again, I find hit or miss. I think that some of their later albums have the better production, but I just don't like them as much as the sound on that album. And it's funny because they went back and remastered a bunch of their songs, but they made it too clean. Even though they don't have the shitty, muddy sound of previous albums. It's not just that they made it too clean, but they re-recorded it. So, they re-recorded certain songs from A Night at the Opera, including And Then There Was Silence, but, the redone version just doesn't sound right, because it doesn't have that army of musicians feel to it anymore. It's a little too, digital sounding, I don't like the way that the orchestra sounds. I don't like the way that the vocals are done on that version. So, it sounds better in some ways, but it just isn't the same. The original is so fucking good. It's the ridiculous intensity of the, 12 vocal tracks that makes it so much fun to listen to. But yeah, I'm a big fan of that song. Again, I would say Valhalla, Mirror Mirror, particularly the live versions of those two songs. The first 4 tracks on A Night at the Opera, and then there was Silence. And then there's like a few songs on some of their later albums that I think are pretty good, like Wheel of Time or something. But I haven't listened to them as much. Like, I was more into Blind Guardian, say, a decade ago than I am currently. But, you know, I've been easing it back onto my iPod and being like, yeah, fucking... And then there was silence, just a voice from the other world, like a leaf in an icy world. Memories will fade, misty tales and poems lost. All the bliss and beauty will be gone. Will my weary soul find release for a while? At the moment of death I would smile. It's a triumph for shame and disease. I'd raise my hands and praise the day. Break the spell, show me a way. In decay, the flame of Troy will shine bright. How can you not like that nerdy ass shit?